Hey D's fans, welcome to a prelim final edition of Before the Bounce, proudly brought to you by Beyond Bank, the club's major bank partner. Now, we're going to be previewing all things Geelong in the lead up to tonight's game, but first, we're going to talk a little bit about the week off. So, there's been 12 days between our win over Brisbane and tonight's clash with the Cats, and the boys have had to keep busy. There's been plenty of gym sessions, plenty of training, but a little bit of fun as well. They've had hits with the golf club, playing a little bit of soccer, all sorts of things to keep themselves occupied. And we caught up with Tom McDonald to discuss just what impact the week off has had. T-Mac, it feels like an eternity ago that we played Brisbane. How's the body feeling after the break?
Yeah, look, I think it's been helpful. No pre-finals bye, so it's helped a lot of boys who are not on the edge, but just freshen up a little bit. We got a pretty solid training session in last week, so yeah, it has felt like a long time. Today was a bloody long day, so I'm just looking forward to playing.
How have you found the whole hub experience? Obviously tough being away from home, but an opportunity to bond?
Yeah, look, if I was a single bloke and 22 years old by myself, look, there'd be no issues at all. You'd be all for it. Having a great time with all the fellas here, and like we've just had a lot of good little activities on, and that's been awesome. Look, I just miss the kids a lot. And I guess, if we do win and we're going through to the grand final, at least it's for a good reason, and I can do a couple more weeks. But yeah, miss the kids. We've tried to make it as fun as possible here and do as many good things, and the things like the food has been awesome, the facilities, so we've been pretty lucky.
How have you spent your downtime? A few board games, things like that?
Board games, PlayStation tournaments, lots of walking around the car park, training. We've still got full training days like we do back home, but it's probably more there's just none of the housework and the chores and stuff that you'd normally do at home. There's a few extra hours in the day, so a few more TV series. Ted Lasso at the moment, getting through that, so a bit of a feel-good show, and a bit of PlayStation.
The week off is designed to be an advantage. Do you feel like it has been?
We'll find out. If we win, we'll say it was. If we lose, we'll say it was a negative. So, no, I don't know. Who really knows? It's going to be interesting for whoever wins has another 2 weeks off. So the teams that, so us and Port Adelaide haven't had the week off. If those teams to win to have another double bye would be interesting, and how the training gets structured. But look, we've had weirder stuff happen. Like last year, we were moving all around the country and playing on 4-day breaks. So I think it's not the biggest issue at the moment.
Interestingly, prior to the pre-finals bye being brought in 2016, 28 of the past 32 teams to win the qualifying final went on to win the prelim final. So potentially that week off could be very handy. Now we're going to take a little bit of a look at Geelong, and they are certainly a proven finals team. They've made 12 of the last 18 prelims, and they really do have experience on their side. Two of those that I want to mention are Isaac Smith and Jeremy Cameron, who they've added to their team from the grand final last year. Smith was big in their 35-point win over GWS last week, and Jeremy Cameron, we know he is a dangerous man up forward. Harry Petty had the role on him at GMHBA Stadium a few weeks ago, so if they line up on each other, it will be a really interesting battle to watch. A key from that game was the centre clearances and the scores from stoppages. So Geelong in that second quarter really got on a roll, kicked 4 goals directly from the middle. It's going to be something we're going to have to watch out for because it allows the likes of Cameron and Hawkins to get really good looks inside 50. The other thing I want to talk about with the Cats is their game style. It's completely opposite to the way Brisbane play. The Lions are really contested, a bit scrappier. Geelong like to keep the ball off you, take the uncontested marks, and try to deny you of winning the footy. So that's something we'll have to watch out for during the game. I caught up with Troy Chapman, our defensive coach, a little earlier to discuss how the Cats like to attack. Chappie, Geelong obviously present a big challenge, play a little bit of a different style game to a lot of teams. How have you gone about preparing for them?
Yeah, look, they obviously play a unique brand that I think everyone sort of understands that they like to control the ball by foot, and we've prepared as well as what we could have. We had a good look at them. Obviously, we played them a few weeks ago, and they tried to play a similar brand. So they've played that way for a long time now. It's pretty identifiable when you're watching Geelong, but it still poses a real risk because if you don't get your defensive stuff right, then they can take a lot of marks and make you defend for a long period of time. So one of our challenges is going to be taking that away from them, but one that we feel that we're capable of doing, but we just got to do it the right way and give ourselves every opportunity to then potentially punish them the other way.
When did the coaches start looking at Geelong? Obviously had the week off. Do you get straight into it or wait a little bit?
You wait a little bit because you want to try and freshen up yourself mentally. So we probably waited a few days once we realised we were going to play them, and then straight back into it. And as I said, playing them a few weeks ago does help. You're not going to change too much after 2 weeks of footy. So we know what to expect. We know what happened in that second quarter where we went wrong for a period of time, and they'll be looking at the same for us and what happened in that second half. So it's going to be a real challenge, and I think one that our players are really looking forward to, and it's going to be a real tight contest.
We had the opportunity to train on Optus Stadium earlier in the week. Is that important heading into the game?
It can be. Obviously, you want to try and get a feel for the conditions and the ground that you're going to be playing on. So we're fortunate enough that the AFL organised that for us, and every team's had an opportunity to do that. So it does give you a good feel of the size of the ground, anything that you want to implement, and especially defence and offence, the way we want to play. We could get a good look at how we wanted to play. Obviously, our last couple of games have been on smaller grounds in Adelaide Oval and down at GMHBA. So we're looking forward to getting on a big ground. We like the bigger grounds. Our ability to run and spread from the contest is a strength of ours.
Another exciting element of this prelim final is the history between the two sides. It started many years ago, the two oldest teams in the competition, but more recently there was that elimination final win, the drought breaker for us in 2018, but even earlier that season started with a round one missed set shot for Max Gawn, a Zach Tui goal after the siren, Adam Tomlinson in 2020 missed one just before the end, and of course round 23 Max Gawn got his redemption. So plenty of storylines. There were 4 games with just 12 points separating the two teams. We expect this one to be a close one as well. Someone who is certainly looking forward to it is our CEO, Gary Pert. Purdy, there is some great history with Geelong. How excited are you for this rivalry to continue?
Well, you can sort of feel it in the group. The fact that we're playing a team that we really respect. We've had some great battles. Everyone's going to remember the last game of the year. I think that was, from the letters and emails I got, one of the highlight games of a lot of people who have barracked for Melbourne and, literally grown men saying that they were crying after the game. So that was an emotional one. So, but they are a team that we really respect. They've got a lot of good players. We're going to have to be at our best. And you expect that when you get to a preliminary that you're going to be playing the best teams in the competition. So we're really looking forward to it.
Sold out crowd at Optus Stadium. Are you hoping that some Perth supporters pull on the red and blue?
Well, I think we're going to have we've got a membership base over here, about 1,300, and we've seen by the ticket sales that they're all going to be there at the game. We've got a lot of people in Perth that were Melbourne supporters that haven't been signed up for a while, and they're all jumped back on board. And we've also we've been swamped by supporters, whether at Fremantle or West Coast, that their teams aren't in it. They love the story of the Melbourne Footy Club where they are, and they've already told us they're going to jump on board. So we've been getting flags and caps as much as we can. We've got a bus going through the centre of town picking people up for the game, and we'll continue to do that as long as we stay in the finals. So we want to see as much red and blue there. We want to see as many D's fans. I think the players know that they feel the love. They know they're going to have a lot of people there with the colours cheering them on, and that makes such a difference because the players have played a lot of games over the last couple of years without any crowd, so they're really feeling at the moment, so it's exciting.
Unfortunate for the fans back home in Melbourne, but no doubt feeling the support from them as well.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of emails, we're getting a lot of calls and text messages, and the love from the supporters, the frustration also. This was a year where we've been on top of the ladder for the majority of the year. They're all up and excited. They feel so proud of the boys, and they'd love to be part of it. They'd love to be at the MCG. We'd love to be playing in front of them. So it is frustrating, but we've just got to stay focused on the fact that the best thing we can do for our supporters in Melbourne is keep on winning, playing a really good brand of footy that they're proud of, and that'll be our focus.
Thanks very much for watching Before the Bounce. It's been a long build-up, and I'm sure you are looking forward to the prelim as much as we are. Now, the members back home will be represented in the stadium tonight with fans pulling on badges for all of your names. So thanks very much for your ongoing support, and enjoy the footy.